What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be diving in and taking a look at the Red Stone, the God Dragon Stone 15 that has been gifted to us during the 7th anniversary here. We are going to take a look at all of the characters that are available. So let's go ahead and jump in here. It is quite a large list of characters that they have added to the Red Stone pool at this point. The downside of it is that most of these units are really bad. Most of these units are pretty, completely outdated and not usable, even after their EZAs. Because a lot of these units have already EZA'd, and then even their EZAs have aged out at this point. So, there's no sense in touching most of these characters. There are only 8 characters on this list that I deem usable in any situation at all. So, I've got them lined up here. We are going to go ahead and go through them. In no particular order. I have put some of the better ones first. So this guy is the first one we're going to talk about, the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta here. He is by far the most impressive unit on this list. He is. This is my answer. If you have no bias toward any of these units, if you don't have any of these units, or especially if you're missing this guy, then hang up the video right now. This is who you get with your stones. He is still a great unit, and this is the only unit on this list that I can say that for. He is still a very, very usable top tier unit. The reason being, after you get him EZA'd, he has this: reduces damage received by 80% for 10 turns. So this ability right here, 80% damage reduction, is never going to die. That is going to be relevant for the rest of the game's history. It's, we're gonna need power creep times 15 on what we have right now for enemies to be hitting hard through 80% damage reduction. It's just never gonna happen. So this guy is gonna be usable till the end of time. It doesn't matter what his stats are. It doesn't matter the fact that he doesn't have any start of turn defense or he doesn't have any defense buffs here. The 80% damage reduction is literally all he needs to be untouchable. On top of that, another thing to consider is I'm pretty sure he is the only, if not, he's one of the only units that I've got pulled up here who has a 200% leader skill, because he's on Vegeta's family and Gifted Warriors here. So he's under the Int Majin Vegeta's 200% leader skill, which is really, really big to note. So he can be run on a 200% team, and he's still got this amazing ability here. So he's going to be a super, super solid slot 1 defensive unit for you. That's the other thing, too, is he doesn't take any time to build up. He just gets this out the gate turn 1. And what a lot of the newest units nowadays are struggling with is being in slot 1. Most units nowadays need, they raise defense on their super attack, and so they need to super attack first, which means it's better to put them in slot 2 or 3 than slot 1, because if they get hit first, then they're going to be taking a lot of damage. This guy is a perfect guy to fill in slot 1, where you're missing slot 1 units. He's also on some pretty relevant categories here, I'd say. Pure Saiyans, Vegeta's family, Worthy Rival, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Bond of Parent and Child, which this category isn't on Global yet, but when it comes to Global, it's a very, very good category. So yeah, his overall looks very good. He doesn't have the worst link set either. Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Over and Flash can be good for Ki, and then Fierce Battle, obviously. So yeah, some of those links are pretty good as well. So yeah, this is hands down the guy that I recommend you get. Honestly, even if you have him, I would recommend getting dupes for this guy. And you could literally just throw full additionals in his kit, and then it becomes even better for Super Battle Road because he has this high chance to stun. That's how I have him built. So if you do full additionals, then he is going to be throwing out additional attacks, better chance to stun the enemies, and then he's got all this damage reduction as well. Looks just absolutely perfect. You could also throw a ton of dodge in his kit if you're planning on taking him into some longer form events where you may end up getting to 12 or 13 turns, and you might have to see him on rotation once or twice without his damage reduction active, because then obviously if he gets hit, he's going to get absolutely destroyed because he has no defense. So having full dodge in his kit could help you with that. You might be able to meme your way through something more difficult, like a Legendary Vegeta event or something. Who knows? But yeah, so this guy, I would recommend maybe even getting a dupe of him before getting a single copy of some of these other characters. So yeah, this is the most time we're going to spend on one unit in this list, but I think it's the most important to notify that he is still a really, really solid unit. Get him with your coin. But if you've already got him rainbowed, or for some other reason you don't need this guy or don't want this guy, Then moving down the list here, we have got the Int Janemba, the Int Super Janemba. So I've got him listed next because he has Guard. Guard active against all attacks is a very, very strong ability. This is one of the most coveted abilities in the game, so any units that have it are definitely going to be sought after heavily. The problem is a lot of the newer units that they're giving guard to, they will only guard for a few turns and then it goes away, or they're given like a high chance to guard, so there's a 50% chance that they're just going to get hit really hard, and you can't always depend on it. This is a 100% chance to guard all the time, no matter what, it's guaranteed. So that is really, really good. The other thing to consider is that you've got the physical LR Janemba and the tech transforming Dokkan Fest Janemba. Both of those units are going to link really, really well with this guy. They have they share a lot of the same links. They do have big bad bosses as well. So him having big bad bosses is a really, really big bonus. So he can still be a solid linking partner for those units. Though I just thought about it, I don't think he links with the physical Super Janemba because they have the same name. But any of those other Janemba cards, or like Janembu or Baby Janemba, he'll be linking up really well. So he is not bad to throw on those teams. On, you know, Kuroda Body and Mind or a Movie Boss's team are the main two places you're probably going to see him run. So he could still definitely hold his own in like Movie Boss's Super Battle Road and stuff. Now, mind you, he only does have 70% stats, and he doesn't get any stat buffs on super attack. So he isn't going to be the most impressive defensively, but having this guard is certainly going to help. So he also does have this medium evasion chance when guard is active. So once he gets hit once, basically, then he's going to get an additional attack buff here, and then he also gets a 30% chance to evade. So that is going to help him out defensively a little bit as well. So yeah, this guy can definitely still be solid. So yeah, that is the Janemba here. He's probably second in line who I would recommend that you pick up with your stone. So the next unit we've got here is the Physical Kid Buu. Now, this unit is not that good. Honestly, he's going to get absolutely destroyed if he gets hit in like any event. The only reason that I am mentioning him here is because of this. Starting turn 1 out the gates, he has all allies key 2, attack and defense 50%. That is really, really good. The only reason I'm highlighting this ability is because this guy can still be useful in some random game modes like the Hercules Punching Machine, for example. This is a very, very solid unit to run on, doesn't matter what your team build is. 50% attack support is going to help out in that event quite a bit. So that can be very, very good. And then the other thing to note is, like, you know, maybe in Easy A stages, there could be some Easy A stages that you're just trying to destroy turn 1, and you have 1 or 2 really, really solid hard hitters. You could just throw him on the team too, so he could be in that 3rd slot, and then provide the attack support, and then your other 2 units could like finish the entire Easy A run in just their attacks before he ever even has to, you know, get hit or anything. So there is some usability for this guy in random events around the game, so that is why I wanted to mention him. Now, these first 3 units here, a thing to note about them is that they are Dokkan Fest exclusives, so you don't have the ability to get them unless they show up on banners, and they are so ancient at this point, none of the 3 of these units show up on banners. That's why I've got them listed first here, because your only opportunity to get them nowadays is going to be with this coin, with this red stone. Your only other option of getting them is going to be to wait for like the Worldwide Download Celebration, where there's the giant banners that have all of the Dokkan Fest exclusives, and then you may be able to pick them up in the shop with some of the special stones that we get for the Worldwide Download Celebration. But there are much better units that I would recommend you spend your stones on at that point. So yeah, keeping that in mind, the rest of the units that we're going to talk about are just banner units, so you do have the opportunity to get them on any banner that comes out. So I would definitely prioritize these 3 units over the rest of the units here. Especially these first 2, and then especially this one, right? Okay, so unit number 4 that we're going to talk about here is this Explosive Super Elite Vegeta. Now, after Extreme Z Awakening, he is actually not bad. Oh, okay, so I believe he's on, yeah, so Vegeta's Family and Gifted Warriors, he is on the 200% Majin Vegeta team as well, so he could look somewhat decent under a 200% leader skill. He greatly raises attack and raises defense on super attack. Now, these are infinite stacks, So I don't recommend that you bring him into anything where you're going to need your units to be strong turn 1. He definitely isn't going to be usable in like the red zone or anything like that. He's not the best for Super Battle Road because, you know, stacking units never are because you keep resetting their stacks with each new fight. However, for long form events like an Infinite Dragon Ball History stage or or any of the Legendary Goku or Legendary Vegeta events, especially, he is going to look very, very good if you give him a chance to get all of these raises, especially if you give him a lot of additionals in his hidden potential system. Then he's able to get multiple of these raises per turn. Then he can be looking very, very solid, especially on that 200% leader skill. So here in his passive, he has Ki 1 at the start of each turn, and attack 70% when there is a Goku's family category enemy. So if you're bringing him into the Legendary Goku event especially, then he is going to be looking very, very good. He also gets 100% stats on Super, which is going to give him even more buffs. Because of that, you can't run him in slot 1, because he doesn't have any start of turn defense, so he needs to Super attack before he can tank hits very well. So you do want to run him in slot 2. And then he gets Ki 7 in defense 70% when HP is 70% or less. So if you are a little later in the event, then he is going to provide some additional defense for himself. And then this is nice too, because you're gonna want to put hidden potential, as many additionals in his hidden potential system as possible. He also gets a chance of performing a crit 7% per physical Ki Spirit obtained. So if you're collecting a lot of physical orbs with him, then he is going to get crit chance already in his passive, so then you have the additionals, and he may be critting as well on top of that. So overall, he is not a bad unit. He's got a few good links here: Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Pride, Prepared for Battle, Royal Lineage is alright. It's a common link, it just doesn't do that much. And then Shattering the Limit is unfortunate that he has, because this isn't the best link either. That could have been something better, but yeah, so overall he is a pretty solid unit. I would say there is definitely still some use for this guy. If you need that final unit to fill in on a team, he can definitely help you out. So if you need help with any of these teams down here, this guy can be a solid option. Okay, so next up we've got this Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku. So the main thing that I want to highlight on him right away is the orb changing here. So he changes STR orbs to AGL orbs, and then he is getting attack 20%, defense 10% per orb obtained, which is good. He's a nuker, right? So he's going to be able to raise his stats based on how many orbs you're giving him. And then also this, 10,000 HP recovered per Ki Sphere obtained. That is no joke either. So if you're selecting a lot of orbs with him, he can be a really, really solid healer for you. This guy is super fun to bring into certain EZA stages. There are quite a few that he's going to be effective in here, you can see, and especially if you're facing off against an STR enemy. Are any of these STR? I think this one is. Oh, no. This one is the STR Ultimate Gohan. If you have him against this EZA, then, you know, obviously he has type advantage, so he'll be tanking decently, and then he'll just be constantly healing you back up. This heal, getting that off over and over, can be super helpful in, like, Super Battle Road, too. So yeah, this guy can still be used, you know, in quite a few places. He could be good for, like, the Legendary Vegeta event, because he does get the additional 5% per Ki Sphere when there's a Vegeta's family category enemy, so that is another thing to note. And then also, you know, obviously he's useful because of the orb changing. You're going to be able to use him in any place where you have really, really strong AGL units, especially ones that need a lot of orbs. He can feed those units quite a bit. So yeah, this guy is still definitely usable. He's got quite a few teams here as well. He's on a lot of relevant teams. I don't think he's on a 200% team yet. No, because he's on Majin Buu Saga, not because of Goku's family. He would need to be on Android Cell Saga to have a 200% leader skill. So yeah, no 200% leads for him yet, but he's still got a really, really solid link set. Actually, this is a very, very good link set. Almost all of these links are really good. I think everything except pretty much Supreme Power. Supreme Power is a good link. It's just not very common, but all the rest of these links are pretty good. Shattering the Limit's not the best. But yeah, so good link set and a really solid kit altogether. So he is pretty good. Okay, so next up, now we're getting into some of the more low-tier ones. This is pretty much just for the people that have the rest of these units rainbowed. I would recommend rainbowing these units before moving on to, like, you know, selecting this girl, maybe. I just wanted to throw her in here as another solid option, just to give some more options for people that aren't interested in the rest of them. But she is good only because she's got all this evasion in her kit. If she gets hit, she's going to get hit really hard. Even with her raising defense by 60% for 3 turns, 3 turns really isn't long enough to get that amazing amount of stacks, and then her defensive stat at base is not that good here. So she is not going to be that impressive. You know, she doesn't hit very hard either, so even having this attacks effective with a Kale in the same turn isn't going to matter. Really, the thing I want to highlight on here is the fact that she gets this high chance to evade and then medium chance to counter. That can still be very, very useful in like Super Battle Road stages. And she's on quite a few teams here. And now that there are so many strong Universe 6 girls, you know, that are all pure Saiyans, they're all Universe Survival Saga, they're all peppy gals. You can make a full Super Saiyan 2 team out of them. Most of them are Bond of Friendship. A lot of them are Power Beyond Super Saiyans. They're all Rapid Growth. You can make full Universe 6 teams and include her on here and beat any of these like Super Battle Road stages with this girl on the team. So that is basically something that I wanted to note, is that she does still have some usability on the Universe 6 team. She is one of the stronger units on that team that you could bring. So definitely usable. And much the same way, we have the Super Saiyan 2 Kale here, or the Kale Berserk, rather. So pretty much same deal. She's going to be getting hit somewhat hard. She isn't the most impressive defensively. She's alright. She has pretty solid attack, though. After she Extreme Z awakens, this attack 160% at the beginning of the turn, and then you know, getting this great chance to additional super. Those attacks can hit pretty hard. She's got a decent attack stat here. It's decent. 13k, it's kind of low. It can be looking alright. It can definitely help you. If she's got like type advantage, she'll be doing decent damage. But the main thing in her kit is that she gets this. So she has 60% damage reduction. She doesn't have any defense to go with that, but 60% is enough to start seeing some tanking. So she can be a decent defensive unit if you are lacking some other units, you know, to run alongside her. And then she's got, you know, a few of those same categories as well. So she can be run in some decent spots. I would definitely say the Caulifla is a lot better than the Kale if it's a toss-up between them. But yeah, she can be usable because that 60% damage reduction is going to be helpful for sure. Okay, and then the final unit that I wanted to note on here is the God of Destruction Topo. So, again, another unit that he is going to be getting hit very, very hard if he, you know, if he gets hit. But he is a really solid support unit, is the thing. He's got, you know, 40% stats to all allies on the rotation. So that can be very, very helpful, especially considering there are a lot of strong Universe Survival Saga teams that you can make nowadays. We're still waiting on that 200%. They don't have a 200% team, so that team is sort of falling off. But I imagine soon we'll get a 200% lead for some Universe Survival Saga characters, and then this guy will be looking a little better. He'll get back into the mix there. You know, and then he's got this attack raise on super for all allies. And then the main thing to note is that he's got this 40% damage reduction when HP is 70% or less. 40% isn't quite enough on its own, but he's got the 70% stats. And then he is giving himself this additional 40%. So he's got 110% defense with the 40% damage reduction when your HP is below 70%. So that can be helpful. He's also got Tough as Nails, which is a really solid defensive link, and you're getting 5% damage reduction there too. So he's at, you know, with Tough as Nails active, he's going to be at 130% defense and 45% damage reduction if your HP is below 70. So then he could, now we're talking, he's going to be looking decent. But again, he doesn't have a 200% lead yet. But yeah, he still could be usable in some, you know, easy A's, and definitely in the Punching Machine event, right? Yeah, that is the last unit that I wanted to go over. So yeah, keep in mind, again, I will quickly remind that these first 3 units here are Dokkan Fest exclusives. All of the other units we went over are just banner units that can be obtained anywhere. So yeah, that is my full comprehensive guide that I've got for you guys. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, or if you found any of this informational, then come be a part of the Toxic Tribe with a like, comment, and subscribe on the video. We are trying our best to get to 77 subscribers by the end of the 7-year anniversary, so smash that red subscribe button. To see more content like this, we're going to have plenty more guides coming out in the future as well. That is going to do it for this one, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!